Hi, I'm Fawna, and I'm excited to share some information with you today, an idea, a premise. I'm here with my son Jake today, who's videoing for me, and I want to share an idea that comes out of Course in Miracles, based on the work of David Hoffmeister, Nook Sanchez, and probably other people. And what it kind of came out of is I've had this lifelong urge to know, like, how does everything work? Why is there so much suffering in the world? Why are things go so bad? And at the same time, we're told in all of our spiritual traditions that God is loving, that God is all powerful, that He knows everything. How can these two things coexist? So I've come across an idea and I want to draw it for you today. See what you think, see if it resonates with you. This is more about sharing than convincing. So I'm going to start with some circles. So I'm going to suggest that we can really change our lives by knowing what's going on. And what I believe has been going on is that we've kind of tricked ourselves into living from the outside in, when the truth is our lives progress from the inside out. So let me start this drawing. So starting from a core, we move our way out. Kind of like a ripple. And out here is the world. And inside the world is something that we believe is us. So we have our perceptions, our feelings, our thoughts, and our beliefs. So what I was saying is I believe that we have been acting as if the world works in this way, from the outside, from the world, in. In other words, the world affects us. This is what it feels like. This is what it seems like. But I'm going to make this other suggestion, is that we look at, could it actually be that we start on the inside and that we are creating the world? We are affecting the world. So I'm suggesting that this is the truth, and that this, in fact, over here, is living backwards. And I'm going to use live backwards, which just so happens to spell evil. So, why? How does this work? Why would we do that? I don't know why, but it seems like there's two choices that we can make from this truth point. We can choose to live from love and believe in that loving God, or we can make the choice to live from fear, which I also call the punishing God. So the God of the Old Testament, who's gonna, knock you down. Punishing God and the God of love. So why would anybody choose the punishing God? Well, I don't think we're consciously choosing that, although perhaps at one time we did. I'm not sure why, but the only thing I can think of is, why do we love video games? Why do we love movies? Why do we love sports? It could be just that if this is true, that we are the God of love, then there's no harm, really. We're eternal. We're creators. We are eternal. We are limitless. We're joyful. Alternately, I believe this was maybe just a what if. What if we weren't? What if we weren't this? We would be powerless, limited, angry and afraid. So can you see how the world as we know it has really been stuck in this place? And I'm suggesting that this is the truth, that this is in operation all of the time, and that this is somewhat of a smokescreen, an experience, an idea, and that we don't have to live there. But how does it keep going? Like if we knew we had a choice, why wouldn't we just choose this? Well, I think how we keep this out of our awareness is in staying busy. We stay busy out here using blame and shame to bounce back and forth between feelings, perceptions, thoughts, and the world. So we kind of stay in this whirlpool, never really looking any deeper because we're too busy. We're kept active, acting and reacting in any moment. Fear, in terms of our bodies, offers us just a few simple solutions. When we're in fear, we fight, we flight, we freeze, or we appease. And this keeps us very busy. None of these suggest stop, meditate, be patient. And yet, these two seeming worlds are coexisting. So in the background of this busyness is kind of this call to truth. And most spiritual traditions say that the key to this is to become still. As we have it now, we're living as if, so I'm going to use my husband and I as an example. He does something here, and I believe it makes me feel a certain way. In that feeling, I then have a thought and a belief. And as I continue to live this way, I continue to reinforce that belief. It's almost like it's a self-reinforcing system. Is that if I have chosen punishing God here, then I'm going to believe I'm separate. I'm going to think I'm alone out here. And that just kind of brings up feelings of fear. Now, I don't like the feeling of fear, so I'm going to look at what's making me afraid. And because I believe I'm separate, I'm going to look out there and I'm going to see, oh, he makes me feel afraid. And it gets dressed up in all sorts of different costumes, but it's just more of a theme on the same thing. Now, if I was able, and when I am able, and I've found this really works, is to follow the truth. If I remember that actually he can't make me mad, the mad was already there. And I follow that string back. And I go, what's behind the mad is this thought and this belief of separation. And I actually do this. It's not just an idea. I actually go in, get quiet, and watch and follow and keep asking. And I usually take the God of love with me. It's like, okay, God of love, if you are true, then show me the way back. Show me the truth. And what I will invariably find is this belief in separation. Now, this belief in separation is just that. It's a belief. And it's not true. So the longer I'm able to stay with that and be still with it, eventually I will come through it. And I found the works of Byron Katie's The Work and Brandon Bay's The Journey particularly helpful for the undoing of this this kind of illusion, this ruse that we've created. Also, in the Course in Miracles, this process is about forgiveness. So it's about understanding, and that's kind of the application of this is another whole story, maybe a whole video. But what I just want to suggest to you today is that we take this chance or an opportunity to try this out. Kind of taste it around in your mouth. See if it fits for you. And I suggest believing in living from the inside out and choosing love. And that this is the place where we can actually have effective action that creates what we actually want. Thank you. Moving from the inside to the outside.